All right, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to give a quick retrospective and review of the game that I just completed, Wing Commander Privateer, and also its expansion pack, Righteous Fire. As you can see right here, I have the web page up on GOG.com where you can get a copy of the game. Currently, it's not on sale, so you're looking at about $6 not on sale. But like many things on the GOG platform, it goes on sale pretty often, and you could probably get it for, you know, I'd say $3 or less sometimes, usually when it goes on sale. But anyway, that's enough about the cost of the game. Pretty reasonable cost, really. But of all the Wing Commander games I've played so far, I played Wing Commander 1, 2, 3, and briefly even fired up Wing Commander Academy. I can say that of those games that I've played so far, this game is definitely my favorite out of all of them. Now, if we look at it from a technological standpoint, it's definitely technically the best game on the original engine. So basically, the original engine was used in Wing Commander 1, 2, Wing Commander Academy, and Wing Commander Privateer. If you'll notice, like in my videos, there just isn't any DOS box slowdown to speak of. You don't even have to pick a specific speed of processor to run things, in case it starts going too fast like you did in the older games. So from a DOS box performance perspective, it works great. There's just no slowdown whatsoever. It's very playable. Just a great game all around from a performance perspective in DOS box. Um, Music wise, I'd say it's probably a little bit of an improvement. I mean, this was the first game in the Wing Commander series to use General MIDI. And now, personally, I'm a big fan of the MT32 sound that was in the older games, but the General MIDI sound was just as good, if not better. So, yeah, even from a sound perspective, it was probably a slight improvement. I'd say slight improvement because like I said, the MT32 sound was still good. But yeah, slight improvement on um, sound quality. The actual visuals themselves, I'd say they're probably a little bit improved over the original games, 1 and 2. I wouldn't say a huge leap forward as far as visuals are concerned, because it's still basically at its core principle, still the same engine for all intents and purposes. Um, there may even be, you could even call it to a certain extent, maybe a lack of variety in enemy aircraft that you fought. So, I mean, like, more often than not, I was having to, kill people in talons. Like if you're a pirate or if you were a retro, especially in the original game, that's all they ever flew. If you happen to get the mercenaries, the hunters, upset with you, you could be taken on, you know, the demon ships, Centurions, maybe even Orions. But that's really about it. There just wasn't a lot of variety. Even the Kilrathi only really had two ships they used throughout the entire game. Um, and there was really only one capital ship that I ever saw on the Kilrathi side that you ever had to take on. Probably a good thing because there's really no way you could have taken on an actual out and out Kilrathi ship that needed, the special type of torpedoes get through the shields. You would have never been able to do that in the game. But speaking of gameplay as well, the gameplay for this is even better, in my opinion, than Wing Commander 3 for the most part. It's very non-linear. Now, the storyline itself, of course, is very much linear. You go from one mission to the next, and so forth and so on. Very linear from that perspective. But the fact of the matter is, you can walk away from the main storyline whenever you want. Or you can even do, like I did many times, you could do other missions along with a storyline mission to make a little extra money on the side. So it's very open ended. I mean, it's really up to you how you want to play. I mean, theoretically, you could be a pirate in this game. You could have the confeds, the militia, and everybody hate your guts. And okay, well, that's fine. And you're a pirate. You could literally do that if you wanted to in this game. I don't know of any way of making the retros or Kilrathi be your allies. And why would you want Kilrathi to be your allies? I mean, it's just fun killing the cats. But I think they said there's actually a bug in the game where if you kill enough retros, it it rolls the counter around so that all of a sudden now they're friendly with you. So theoretically, there is a way to get the retros on your side. It just requires you killing like 30 something thousand of them to get that to work. So very weird. Not even worth doing, to be honest with you. But yeah, the non-linear, very open aspect of the game is a huge improvement over all of them, even Wing Commander 3. Uh, Down to the choice of your ship that you fly, that's a huge improvement because in Wing Commander, all the games you pretty much had here's your selection of fighters that you can fly, or in Wing Commander 3 they kind of gave you a choice. The original Wing Commander 1 and 2, not really. This is what you're flying for the mission. Hope you like it. In this one, what I did is I just saved up enough money, just kept flying missions back and forth in my Tarsus, whatever the original ship was called. Kept flying that until I got enough money, and I just went straight to the Centurion. And I was able to, just go from there. Now, if you wanted to, you could have chosen the Orion. I could have chosen the Galaxy. I don't know why you'd want to, because it'd be a big slug like the broadsword. But you could do that if you wanted, and you want to continue to play with loading cargo and having huge cargo space, because that's what the Galaxy is basically known for, is having a big cargo hold. So it's really your choice how you want to do your ship, which is another huge, vast improvement over any of the other Wing Commander games. So you had a very open-ended choice of ships. Uh, Performance-wise, it was very great. Now, from a technical perspective, yes, I'd say Wing Commander 3 was definitely the better looking game. Obviously, it came out after this whole brand new engine, so I would hope it would look better. So Wing Commander 3 definitely had it from a visual perspective, had a had the edge over Privateer. But Privateer, from a gameplay perspective, I think is much better than Wing Commander 3. You know, the thing is, even the cutscenes in Wing Commander 3, they just don't really hold up as well. These cutscenes being, rendered in, sprites and whatnot, they hold up even today. I mean, because it's basically the same resolution, so you're not getting that grainy look like you got in Wing Commander 3. Storyline, the storyline was actually probably better. I'd say of all of them, it's probably my favorite of the storylines. I mean, I'm not going to say it was, Shakespeare or anything, and it was like great writing, but I think it was a better storyline than pretty much any of the mainline Wing Commander games for sure. And Righteous Fire, that storyline was pretty decent as well. Um, I can't really say that there's anything really dumb about the story that really turned me off. Because I mean, like there was things like the Wing Commander 2, the big gaping plot hole in that one. It was just like, come on, man, really? Um, I mean, there was nothing like that in this game. So even from a storyline perspective, I think it was a much better game than any of them, many of the mainline games, I should say. So yeah, I mean, even at this price for $6, I mean, you can't go wrong with it. And I'm not saying the game was perfect, obviously. One of the big drawbacks I would say to the game would be asteroid fields. That was something that you could definitely say was an improvement in Wing Commander 3 for sure, because the asteroid fields just felt like a waste of time. You're sitting there trying to dodge the asteroids and just wasting time flying through the asteroid fields. That's all it was, is a waste of time. Um, some of the missions that you did, they were basically time wasters as well. So that from that perspective, there is more time wasting in this game than say any of the other mainline Wing Commander games. So I'd definitely say that was a bit of a downside. But I'm not going to say it was that big of a detriment, because I mean, especially in the original Wing Commander 1 and 2, you had asteroid fields in that one, and freaking minefields as well that you would have to go through, which were just as bad, if not worse, because of the DOSBox performance. So from that perspective, you know, only Wing Commander 3 actually got rid of the time wasting element. From a difficulty perspective, I felt that Privateer was never to a point where I just felt overwhelmed. I mean, there were some tough missions that I had to do there, um, and but they were tough. They weren't impossible. So I never felt the need to turn on invincibility. Never once did that cross my mind. So I never even had to do that. Now, you could even say one of the downsides to Righteous Fire was the majority of those missions in Righteous Fire were actually pretty easy up until the very end. So, if anything, Righteous Fire was a fairly easy thing because you're going in it with a fully, decked out, ship. So you could just like jump straight into the storyline and get going and not have to, work around like building up money and upgrade your ship. You didn't have to do that. Could if you wanted to, but you didn't have to. You could just jump straight into the storyline and get going. So, yeah, everything about this game for sure makes it my favorite of the 1994 and older Wing Commanders for sure. Um, if I was going to go ahead and give it a star score, I'd probably give it about 4.5 out of 5. I think, because it's not perfect. It's not the perfect game, but it's pretty dang close. Um, by far, definitely my favorite Wing Commander game I've played so far. It's not even close, really. I'm trying to think if, yeah, because I mean, difficulty spikes like what you saw in Wing Commander 3 didn't exist in this one at all. It was just a pleasant game to play from start to finish. I mean, it was a little difficult at the beginning, but if you just kind of set your mind towards, just doing cargo runs and focusing on that, you could get past the beginning pretty easily. I mean, a little bit mundane, if you want to put it that way. That would be a thing, but once you got your ship upgraded and whatnot, it was super easy. Well, not easy, but doable, or at worst challenging. So definitely a good game. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Um, and here's something really great. Let me go ahead and bring this up. If you buy this on GOG, they have this, the Privateer Playtester's Guide. Now, it does actually have a write-up for every one of the missions in there, but I never really followed them. What I did follow, though, and this playtester's guide is just awesome for this. You can see the maps of all the quadrants, and that's really neat, because that would be one drawback to the game, because this is a game that very much is dependent on you flying from this system to that system, delivering this, going there, doing various things of that nature. And the only way to bring up the quadrant maps is when you've taken off. So that kind of sucks when you're trying to sit there saying, hey, I'm looking at these missions. Where am I going? Fortunately, you can always Alt Tab out and look at the maps here. That's cool. And you can even go down to see what type of, oops, click the wrong area. You see what type of base is in each system. And then you can even break it down by all the different types and look at all the different, systems right here through there. But even better than that was this portion right here. Find out which one of these runs would give you the most money. So like, I'm coming from an agriculture planet, I'm going to a mining one, and this is what I use basically to get started, and just say, okay, I need to move wood, food, and grain back and forth to make money. And so you can do that. And it definitely breaks it down. And on the next page, you have some of the other, like New Constantinople, New Detroit, Oxford, Perry Naval Base. And they're just, helps you as far as what sort of runs you need to do to make money. And this being basically a very merchant oriented game, I would say that was invaluable. And like I say, just a few pages down, they start talking about all the mainline missions right here, the plot missions. It pretty decent. I mean, it's pretty decent. I mean, I did look at this to figure out, okay, this is kind of a recommended ship layout. So I did use that from that perspective to figure out what I wanted to do to get into the game and get into the storyline itself. But other than that, I didn't really need to access this barely at all. I can't really remember if I ever needed this part of the play guide just to hit the, you know, the main storyline because I would get, tripped up. That never happened to me. So I'd say from that perspective, another big bonus for the game. So yeah, the fact that you buy this on GOG, not only do you get the game, but you also get that play guide, which helps you out immensely, is very good. Now, one thing that the play guide doesn't do, it doesn't talk about righteous fire at all. So if you need any help with that, you can just go here to the Wing Commander Combat Information Center, and you can get all the righteous fire missions and whatnot here if you need them. And I did look at them a little bit, but for the most part, other than like looking at Talif, like figuring out where was she, and I should have realized, of course, she's going to be on that pirate base in Pentonville or whatever the name of that system was. But for the most part, I didn't really use that much either. But this is a resource that you can use if you kind of get lost and don't know where to go in Righteous Fire. So that's pretty much it for Wing Commander Privateer. I do want to give you one very quick review to add on here, though. This game, Wing Commander Academy. I thought I was going to try and do a short playthrough of this before I did Privateer, and I fired it up, and it's just a waste of time. I mean, I thought, okay, well, maybe they'll have a few built in missions that you can play and just do some built in missions. No, no, all they've got is a simulator. I mean, that is literally the only thing that comes with this. It's like, you remember the simulator from the original Wing Commander game where you sit in there and you just fight wave after wave of fighters? That's it. That's all this game has. It has a simulator. You can take a wingman with you if you want. You can choose which wingman you want to take with you. You can choose which spaceship you're flying the mission with. But other than that, it's just a simulator run, and you do like 14 different waves or 14 waves of 3 enemies. That's it. And what's the point? I mean, seriously, what is the point? Uh, I never saw the point where they said that even this game still had the CPU limited cycles. So I never really, I only played it once. I literally only played it once. I was like, this is a waste of time. I guess back in the day, they're like, oh, check it out. You can build your own missions and you share them with people online. And I guess if you're into that, that's kind of cool. But with so many games out there to choose from nowadays, who wants to waste their time with that? And that's really all it is. I mean, I think that Wing Commander Combat Information Center, you can find some people that have some missions that you can upload. But I mean, I like the original Wing Commander games, but without any sort of any mission structure or anything, this thing seems like a complete and total waste of time. And this is funny. You see, it's got a 3.1 out of 5 rating overall. I don't know how it has that, to be honest with you, because you look down here. Well, I guess some of them are cool. You know what? I think I would give this one at most a 2 out of 5 stars. And the only reason I would give it a 2 out of 5 is because for those people who want to make their own missions and things of that nature, there you go. you can do it. But I think for the majority of players, this thing it's not even worth a buck or $1.50 or how much I paid for it, because I know I got it on sale. I don't even remember how much I paid for it, and it wasn't even worth that. It's a complete and total waste of time. Um, it's just a bad game. It really is. It's just a bad game. Um, so yeah, that's a little bonus review for you. If you're thinking about buying any of the Wing Commander games and you see them all on sale and you're like, I'm just going to get them all, don't do it. Not for this game. Don't even waste your $1.50 or how much this thing is. This thing is a complete and total waste of time. Avoid it like the plague, because it kind of is. So anyway, that's it for this video. That's my thoughts on Wing Commander Privateer and also Wing Commander Academy. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care.